we need to build a tool from scratch to service VIP players. It wasn't like, and thankfully that a lot of the credit to that goes to Kale. They had a business partner that knew how to build these tools, so we weren't having to find something off the shelf and plug it into our business. So we're like, we started talking to the VIP players, like, how do you talk to your hosts? Like, what's important to you? What do you care about? How do you like, once a trip is booked, what kind of information do you want to have back? And we got an acronym out of it that we consolidate all this, and it was A.C.T.S, access, convenience, transparency, and then speed and special service, A.C.T.S. And so the players were like, I want access. And I'm gonna combine kind of feedback from a bunch of different players and say like it's one person, but really it was a bunch. So it's access. They want that feeling of getting behind the velvet rope. They want to know like, oh, I got a person in Vegas. I got this host that can take care of me. They like that feeling, the access. What is this casino or what is this host giving me that other people can't get? Convenience. This is a big part of Trio. Is like we were trying to force these players, put a square peg in a round hole, where we wanted them to jump through all these hoops because it was easy for our process. Well, I think every human wants convenience, but really high value players can demand convenience, right? They're just going to go to the place that's most convenient for them. And so we said, well, how do you like to communicate with your hosts? I typically text them. That's what we got more and more. So some people are like, hey, listen, if it's really complicated, I'll pick up the phone and call them. But for the most part, it's a text like, hey, I want to come out this weekend. Want to take the missus out for dinner. Like, please set this up. And they'd send a text, and then they'd expect a response. But they like just easy. That's the easiest, most convenient way for them to book was through text. Transparency. Once a trip is booked, they want to know the details. Like some people are okay with done, but a lot of people are like, well, what's the confirmation number? Okay, well, you said you got reservations. What time is the reservations? So that led to us building, which maybe we'll get into a little more later, but kind of like a trip itinerary builder where as things get confirmed, they get added to a list that hosts can easily send out to players. And then speed and special service was just, hey, the faster they get back to me, the more important I feel. Mm-hmm. And speed is kind of a factor in special service, but it's just treating people well, making them feel important is invaluable. So, but speed is a part of that. If you text me and I get back in 1 minute, it's like, wow, I'm high in that person's priority list. If they get back to me 3 days later, it's like, wow, they had 3 days of stuff that was more important than me. So speed is a factor in that.